Hello, my name's Tim and this is my October 2017 collection update. Let's do this. Okay, now first I want to express, normally most months I do not get nearly as much as I did this month. I definitely splurged a whole lot, especially because I found a lot of great deals in thrift stores this month. So don't expect collection updates like this every single month. I definitely spent way more than I should have. We're going to start first with the miscellaneous updates, and that is stuff that I can't really categorize in a specific category because I don't necessarily collect it all the time, and it's stuff that I can't really have a lot of all the time. So anyway, let's get on with this. The first update is this big ass PlayStation 3 display tower console thingy. It holds video games and the Model 1 PlayStation 3, which I'm very happy that I actually own a Model 1 PlayStation 3 as well as the slim PlayStation 3. But I got this at Goodwill for about $5. I think it was $3.99 or $4.99, and yeah, pretty happy to have it even though it takes up way too much space and I won't use it. Next up, for those of you that follow me on my Facebook page, you know I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I've really gotten into New Japan Pro Wrestling in recent years, and Kazuchika Okada is currently my favorite wrestler, and I got this magazine because he's on the cover, and it's the top 500 wrestlers in the world annual thing by PWI, so really happy to have this, and it's a really good read actually, though I do not agree at all with their top 10, but what can you do? Next up, we have a couple of CDs. I buy them whenever I see them, and here's a couple that I really wanted. A couple of new Iron Maiden CDs. We have Iron Maiden Power Slave and The Number of the Beast. This one actually comes with a multimedia section, so if you put the CD in your computer and stuff, you can watch music videos on a few of their songs, I think. And this one is one of their better albums, I think. It has some of my favorite songs by them. So yeah, happy to expand the Maiden collection, and the power of metal be with you. Now we have board games. Yes, for those of you that do not know, I really enjoy collecting board games, and I also play a good amount of board games, especially whenever the family comes over or I go over there. I'll take some I'll take some board games and video games, and we'll just play games. And board games played a huge part of my childhood, and that's why I enjoy them a lot. There's a lot of nostalgia for it. But there's also a bunch of really cool and unique games that you can find, and I have some of them here today that I'm very happy to have. First we have Clue, the VHS mystery game. Haven't played it yet, don't know a lot about it, but I'm a huge fan of the Clue board games, and I have a few of them as well. Next up, Goosebumps. I actually haven't had time to set this one up either because, well, I'm stretched for time, and I use it on things like video games and watching anime most of the time when I'm not working or out doing things. But we have Goosebumps. I'm a really big fan of the old VHS. Well, I still collect those. But yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Goosebumps. I haven't read the novels, but I do watch some of the old VHS movies, and I still collect those. So really cool to have this. Can't wait to play it once I get some people over to play and have some time to play. Lastly, we have a game that has been featured by Board James, or as you may know him as James Rolfe, or the Angry Video Game Nerd, and that is 13 Dead End Drive. Unfortunately, this one, even though I bought it, it was taped up, so I couldn't open it in the store. But unfortunately, it's missing a couple of the pieces, but it's not anything too crucial for the most part. It's all here. I've been on the lookout for this one for quite a while now, and it's part of the thrill in going in thrift stores is to find these. So I always look at board games and see if there's anything unique that I want. Lastly, for miscellaneous, we have skateboard supplies. For the last 3 months, I've been a subscriber to the Primitive Reserve skate box, and that basically comes with a bunch of cool skate stuff for $75 flat rate. And so far, I'm very happy with it. I'm still on my first board because I've been injury prone recently, and I've spent more time on the sidelines not skating as opposed to skating, so I'm just stockpiling boards and all of the supplies that come with it. But we have a Nick Tucker primitive board. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's a wolf on it, and it has a raised graphic, which I have not skated before, so I'm excited to see if that will affect my board slides, lip slides, nose slides, and tail slides, and blunt slides and stuff. But happy to have it. maybe it'll help me get my Nolly Inward Hills even higher because Nick Tucker. But I already have really high Inward Hills and Nolly Inward Hills, so not sure if I can get them much higher. It also comes with a sheet of grip, which is blank, thankfully. The first one came with, the first box I got came with Tupac grip tape, and I don't like my grip tape to have graphics on them, so I gave that to my brother and I went out and bought me some Jessup. Now the rest of the goodies that came in the skate box. We have a skateboard shirt, and I actually still haven't wore my, I've worn my first shirt I got from him. The second one's still in my closet with the tag, and this is the third one. Maybe I'll wear it sometime. I'm happy it's a black one this time because the first two was white, and those, whenever you fall, you instantly stain them, and sometimes it's quite hard to get the stains out. There's no back graphic this time, but still pretty happy with it. We also have some more wax because you just need more wax, I guess. And also some new wheels. I don't wear out wheels too fast, but I'm happy I'm getting them monthly now, so I can change them out whenever they start barely wearing down some. Lastly, for the skate box, came with a few stickers, so yeah, that's all the skate stuff that came this month in the skate box. Can't wait to show it off again next month. Now we're on to the VHS collection update, and we have E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and I got this, well, I didn't get this. I bought it mainly because I let my brother and his wife pick out the extra movie. I only found so many movies, and I got them at Goodwill, so you have to buy 5 to get them for like $3 or something, or it's some kind of deal like that. I let them pick out one, so they picked out this, so now I have E.T. on VHS. Next up, we have Young Frankenstein. I watched this the night I bought it. It's a bit of a letdown because Mel Brooks normally does a very good job on movies, but this one just fell flat for me, even with Gene Wilder in it, and I thought he was fantastic in Blazing Saddles, and that's one of my favorite Mel Brooks movies. I think I said Mel Gibson, maybe I don't know. Mel Brooks, anyway, Mel Brooks. Didn't enjoy it too much. It was very strange. I got what he was going for, it just fell flat for me compared to some of his other masterpieces. Next up we have Pikachu's Winter Vacation. I don't know if this has actually been released on any DVDs. Normally the Pikachu adventure thingies go, normally there's one on each of the anime movies, but I don't recall seeing this one on any of the movies. I could be mistaken, I just maybe don't recall it, but I'm happy to have it in my VHS collection. Next we have Heidi or Heidi, I don't know how it's pronounced, but this is a very old anime film from 1985, which makes it, I believe, my oldest anime VHS, slightly outbeating Wee Wendy, I believe. But a fun fact about this anime movie is because Hayao Miyazaki is actually involved in this one in some way. There's not many details on the Wikipedia page for this anime movie, so yeah, I'm happy to have it in my collection to preserve it, because you really need to preserve the older anime like this, because they're getting harder and harder to find, and there wasn't a lot of them made as opposed to Western stuff. Next up we have Sailor Moon R the movie, which means it actually has the Pioneer dub. I know that Viz is redubbing the Sailor Moon anime, and I don't know if they've done the movies yet or if they will be doing them, but yeah, I'm happy to have it in my collection. It's my first Sailor Moon VHS, but I used to watch it on TV back in the day too. Lastly, we have some Walt Disney films. We have The Emperor's New Groove, classic, love it. Sleeping Beauty, don't ever recall if I've ever seen that one actually. An extremely goofy movie. I think I enjoyed this one as a kid. I don't think I have it yet. And Alice in Wonderland, another classic. Now we are moving on to the DVDs. Okay, I cannot lie, most of these I got mainly, I actually don't even know if this is all of them that I bought this month, so bear with me. But I got these 6 at Goodwill because at my local Goodwill this month, it literally looks like someone just took in their whole DVD collection and just gave it to Goodwill, because they had tons of modern stuff and collections and TV shows, just tons of stuff at my local Goodwill, so that was really cool. And as you know, at Goodwill, I believe the deal is buy 3 for $5, so I had to pick out 6, and this is what I picked out. Batman and Superman double feature, Star Trek, and Star Trek Into Darkness. Batman the Animated Series Volume 1. Been meaning to buy this a while, glad I was able to get it for a cheap deal. can't wait to watch and buy the rest of them because I remember watching this when I was younger and I did enjoy it. Cool Hand Luke. And Harry Potter, one of the movies I'm missing. I bought the first 5 as they was coming out when they was new, and I've really been needing to get the rest of them and finally finish off my Harry Potter DVD collection. Next up we have a Yu Yu Hakusho anime DVD. Enjoy, because I already had the complete series in the seasonal box sets, so I got this just because, why not? Next up we have Misery, the horror movie based off the Stephen King novel. Really enjoyed this. It's probably the best Stephen King adaptation that I've seen yet. I haven't seen the new It movie yet, so don't hold me to that. But out of all the older adaptations of his novels, I think this one is probably the best actual movie adaptation. It's very good compared to a lot of them. But I do enjoy all of Stephen King movie adaptations, even Maximum Overdrive. You can clearly tell by the shirt, I'm a big SpongeBob fan, and I'm very happy, very happy to finally have all 9 seasons of SpongeBob released. Season 7 has eluded me for a very long time. I just never thought to buy it off Amazon, but I found it in a store for $10, and I had to pick it up instantly because that was cheaper than Amazon price. So yeah, finally got the ever elusive Season 7 of SpongeBob. And also Season 9 came out this month, so I'm very happy to have it. Wasn't the best, and I do have some gripes with the packaging and stuff, as well as the menu screens and episode selections. But I can't complain too much. It's SpongeBob. It's probably it is my favorite cartoon. The only one that comes close to SpongeBob, in my opinion, is Ed, Edd and Eddy. And SpongeBob itself is better than most animes, so yeah. Lastly, for DVDs, we have Clue, the movie, the movie based off the game. I really enjoyed this. I've heard some bad things about it and it has mixed reviews, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I watched all 3 endings, so yeah. And now it's time for video games. What I bought the most of this month because I splurged way too much. First up, we have a couple of N64 titles for those of you that follow me on my Facebook page. Again, you will know that I've been working on completing a complete collection of N64 games, and I bought up 2 more this month, Fighter Destiny 1 and Forsaken 64. I've played them, and yeah, they're okay. Forsaken, probably a little better. I also looked out at another thrift store outside of Goodwill and found 3 Game Boy Advance games for 99 cents. They was all bundled together. We have Spyro, Season of Ice, the Crash Bandicoot game for it, I can't see the name, The Huge Adventure, and a Fairly Odd Parents game. So yeah, I got these mainly because it was just 99 cents for all 3, which isn't a bad deal, I don't think. Next up we have Metroid on Super Nintendo for $25. Very happy the price went down. The prices did jump up on this even higher for a while, but it dropped back down, so I figured I better buy it while I could, and while it was a little cheaper than what it has been being. But I mainly got it because I've been into the Metroid games recently, and you'll see another Metroid game in this collection update. Last month I bought Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS, and I've been playing that, and I really enjoyed it. It's the first Metroid game I've really gotten into. I've had some of them for years, but I haven't had time to play them because mobile games is a lot easier for me to play personally. But I really enjoyed Samus Returns. I haven't beat it yet, but I'm still really enjoying it. So I've made it a goal to collect the rest of the Metroid games, so yeah. Next up we have yet another N64 game, but this one's special because it was in box. It's missing the manual, sadly. This is actually my first in-box N64 game. Now I'm not going to buy another loose cart. I'm just going to keep the cart out of the box and put the box up, get a nice container for it and everything. But yeah, Spider-Man finally, yay! Next up we have a couple of Sega Saturn games. I've been getting back into collecting for Sega Saturn. It's one of my favorite consoles to collect for, so we have Criticom. It's a very strange fighting game. It's kind of similar to Virtual Fighter on the Sega Saturn, with the gravity and everything being strange, and it's very strange to play, and it's not very good either. It was $13. Next up we have Romance of the Three Kingdoms number 4. Was there 1 through 3 released in America? I don't know, but this one's number 4. It was $25. It's a kind of a strategy role-playing game. It's really strange. It's not very fun or good, but I guess if you enjoy the Romance of the Three Kingdoms and are a big fan of that, You might enjoy it, but I just didn't like it that much. I got it for collecting's sake. Next up, we have a Sega CD game. Now, I don't actually own a Sega CD, and I only got this because it was $2. And it's actually a game in a different case. I got it from a thrift store, and the game that it came with is Tomcat Alley, which is a flying shooter game, I think. But it's actually the case to Double Switch. So, yeah, I got it mainly because it was cheap, and also because now I can go online and like eBay and find the game Double Switch for like really cheap, just the disc maybe, and then I'll have the case for it. And I can also maybe buy the case for Tomcat Alley really cheap, and then I'd have the case for it. We have one more NES game, and that is Jeopardy! It is not complete in box. It's missing the manual, but I got it for like $4 or $5, I believe. So it was a box game. I couldn't pass it up at my local game store. Now we have some DS games, some DS goodness. I love the DS. It's one of my favorite consoles. Probably my favorite portable console, possibly. Maybe the PSP is better. Not sure yet. We have Spider-Man Web of Shadow. I got it for $4 at Goodwill. We have Star Wars The Force Unleashed for $4 as well. And this is a game I've actually been looking for in game stores and haven't been able to find in box, well, in case yet. And that is Super Princess Peach. I'm a really big fan of the Mario games. I really love playing them. And Princess Peach is one of my favorite game characters. She is awesome. And I got this for $2. The game's in it, plays fine. Couldn't pass it up at a thrift store. Next up, Chrono Cross. Got this for a couple bucks. Another thrift store find. A couple more thrift store finds. We have a couple of PlayStation 3 games I got at a thrift store. Final Fantasy 13 and Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Each for just a couple bucks. Some PS3 games that I got at a game store. Red Dead Redemption, which I've been playing, really enjoying it. Can't believe it took me this long to get it because I'm a huge fan of Rockstar games. I really enjoy pretty much everything they've done. So, yeah, I can't believe it took me so long to get to it. Resident Evil 5, got it just for the sake of completing my Resident Evil collection. And next up, probably one of the, well, yeah, maybe the best game I've played on PS3. L.A. Noire might surpass it, not exactly sure. But I got The Last of Us, and I had to sit down and beat it in like 2 or 3 days. Really enjoyed it. The second game might actually give me a reason to get the PS4, because right now the PS4 library isn't enough to entice me to put out the money for it yet. But this one might actually do it. Now we have a few PS2 games. We have Katamari Damacy, maybe? I don't know. I've been meaning to pick it up for a while, just never saw it in store, and I saw it in Goodwill for $4, so I decided to pick it up. Next up we have Manhunt. Been on the lookout for this one for a while. I've always come across Manhunt 2, but never been able to find Manhunt, but I finally found it, bought it, can't wait to play it. Ultimate Ninja 2 Naruto. I already have this game, but for a couple bucks I got it, mainly because the case is in slightly better condition than mine. Mine is an old used GameStop game, and it has just tons of stickers piled up on it all over the place, and actually under the casing onto the paper itself, so I hate it when they did that. They used to do that a lot, and it was so infuriating whenever they would do that, because it would destroy it whenever you try to take the sticker off. Next up we have one Xbox 360 game, Dead or Alive 4, for $4 at Goodwill. Yay! We have a few GameCube games, got all of them at Goodwill for very good prices. Odama for $4, complete with manual and everything. Now this one, well, I'll save that one for last. We have Star Wars Rebel Strike for $4. And this one I was super amazed to find at a Goodwill, because it's quite an expensive game for the GameCube. And I'm very happy to now have it in my collection, even though I already own all of these games on their respective consoles. However, that means that this has got to be the Zelda Collector's Edition. With all 4 of the games, they come with it for $4, with manual and everything. I was super amazed to find this. Now we have 5 Wii games. We have New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the Wii. Imagine that. Anyway, $4 at Goodwill. SSX Blur for $4 at Goodwill. Probably could get this cheaper at a game store. Not really sure, but I picked it up because it was just a random urge to buy. Last Goodwill game that I found Super Mario Galaxy. I already have this game, but I bought it because it was cheap, and usually I buy games even if I already own them, if I think I can get more trade-in credit for them, because you collect a bunch of these cheap games and you use them for trade-in credit at a game store and get an expensive game that you really want, and that's what I do sometimes. That's how I have so many duplicates of games and stuff. We have Knight's Journey of Dreams. I actually really enjoyed the game on Sega Saturn because I haven't played this. I've heard it's not very good, but I'll wait and find out myself. Lastly, we have Metroid Other M, the final Metroid game I got this month. Can't wait to play it. Probably going to buy the rest of them first because I kind of want to play them in order from now on. And this apparently takes place at the end of the timeline currently, so I'll definitely want to at least play the Prime games before I play this. And one final video game pickup, if you can call it that. It's pretty strange. It's a Japanese import. I found it at Goodwill. It's Para Para Paradise. I haven't tried hooking it up. I don't know if it's going to work on my TV or not, but for $4, it's really cool looking. I haven't had time to set it up or try it out like I said, but this is really cool. I really enjoy Para Para dancing at conventions and stuff, so very happy to have this. It's strange and unique, and things like that are very cool for a collection. First, well, this really isn't a console, but it's a Super Nintendo Fight Stick that I got at Goodwill for $4. Haven't tried it out yet, haven't had time to set up a Super Nintendo because I normally don't play the Super Nintendo too much, and I don't have it set up to a TV currently, but I have a Fight Stick for it, so that's pretty cool. Next up, we have another thrift store find, not Goodwill this time. Game Boy Advance SP, $5. Looks amazing. It's in really good. It did have a big Snoopy sticker on the front, but I used some Goo Gone, took that right off. I already have a Game Boy Advance SP, but for $5, I couldn't pass it up. And while I was there, I also found a Game Boy Advance SP case for 99 cents. Bought it because why not? Next up is actually my only Goodwill buy this month. I don't buy from Goodwill nearly as much as I used to, but I got this mainly because I want to experiment a little bit. We have a Sega Game Gear, and it came with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I already have this game, and I already have this console, and the screen doesn't work on this console, so why would I buy it? Well, I got it for $6, and I want to mod the screen. I want to get a replacement screen that shows up a lot better and is a whole lot easier to see, and I figure may as well buy a cheap, broken console to try it on before I mess up my working Game Gear fucking it up. But yeah, I'm going to buy a new screen for it and replace it, and that's going to be my experiment. Oh, now this one was an amazing deal because I ended up with 2 more PlayStation 2s. Yeah, I have 5 of them now because they were $7 each at a thrift store. I figured, I could take the chance. So I bought both of them, brought them both home, hooked them both up. They both play perfect. I was super amazed. I cleaned them up a little bit. They was a little dusty, but other than that, hey, 2 more PS2s. And for the price I got, I can go and trade them in and get a game that I really want. Probably not going to. But anyway, it's cool to have 5 PS2s. And then the next day after I found out they worked, I went and looked in the thrift store again, and I found nearly all the connections that I need for like 99 cents each. The audio video cables, the power cables, and this one actually came with an iToy. So yeah, you never know what you're going to find at a thrift store, so I stop by them a couple of times every week. Okay, now it's time for the last part of this collection update, and it has been way too long of a video for the little amount of stuff I got, and I apologize for that. But we have anime, which is probably the reason why most of you are even here, so save the best for last. I'm actually a little disappointed in myself for getting so few anime this month compared to last month. Last month I got a ton of anime, but this month I really dropped the ball because I spend so much money on other stuff. But this is not actually everything I bought because currently I'm waiting on another package, but it's probably not going to be in until next month if it comes in. It's an Amazon package, and somewhere my package is in limbo. It was supposed to come in a couple of days ago, and it still hasn't. Today is October 29th. It was supposed to be in the 27th, and no one knows where it is. The USPS doesn't know where it is. Amazon doesn't know where it is. Amazon sent me a message saying, hey, if you don't get it by Thursday, contact us, and they'll probably replace it or something. But I am a little disappointed because I really wanted to watch more Fairy Tail, and that is what is in that package, and I haven't got it yet. So this is not all the anime that I bought this month, but it's sadly all that has gotten in my hands at this point. First up, we have Dragon Ball Super. I've really been enjoying Super. I really wish Funimation would release them a lot faster. That way I could catch up with where they are in Japan much faster, as opposed to every 3 months or so just getting 13 episodes. But I'm really enjoying this a whole lot more than the movies. I did not like Battle of the Gods or Resurrection F too much at all, because you could tell just watching them where it was going. It was either leading up to even more movies coming out or a resurrection of an anime series. So we got a resurrection of the anime series, and this pretty much makes the movies null and void. There's no point in watching the movies anymore, because this changes the story slightly and expands upon it a lot more. So really happy to have this and be watching it. Next up, we have a couple used anime I got at thrift stores, and we have Scrape Princess Volume 6. Really been needing to buy this anime. I don't know if you can currently buy it new on Amazon. I haven't looked, but I've heard really good things about it, and I want to watch it someday. But whenever I find single DVDs of anime, I normally just pick them up just because. We have Samurai X Reflection. Now, I believe this takes place after where the anime ends, and continues the story maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't researched it yet, but I do know I am collecting the Anime Works collections, well, not collections, the single DVDs for Rurouni Kenshin, and I nearly have all of them, so I nearly have the whole anime. Like I said, I believe these are either OVAs or movies that continue adapting the story after the anime ends, but don't hold me to that because I have not researched it too much yet. And lastly, we have Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter Set 3. This is amazing because they doubled the episodes, which thank God they did, because it was going to take us forever to catch up and finally complete the 2011 anime. So now we have up to episode 50, which means we're very close to being halfway through the 2011 anime. I'm currently watching this and I'm really enjoying it. It's a very good adaptation. So if you can, please go ahead and buy the anime. That way maybe we'll get them faster, and maybe they won't cancel this series, because Viz is notorious for canceling anime as well as manga. And there you have it, everything I bought this month. Well, there is one other thing. Let me go outside and show you. That is correct. I now own a motorcycle. It's not a very big motorcycle, and it's not a very expensive one either, but it's a good one to learn on, and that's what I was looking for. Safety is a top priority for me on a motorcycle. Got my helmet, got my motorcycle, getting my motorcycle license as we speak. But it's something I've wanted for a while now, and I finally decided, why not? So I went out and just bought one randomly on a Thursday. Okay, there's one final thing I forgot, and I'm editing that in real quick right here. And that is, I finally got some figure display shelves. So I'm going to go downstairs and let you take a look at those right quick. Yep, that's right. I finally got 4 IKEA Detolf display shelves. I'm using them for anime figures, obviously, and I got them for $100, so that's $25 each, and they retail at $59.99, which is $60 each. So really good deal, really happy I finally have those, and now I can finally display my anime figures correctly. That is everything I bought this month for my collection. Check in next month.